Hello guys, welcome back to PMTV. In this one I'm bringing you an interior and exterior review of the Hyundai I30N. Let's go. The car comes standard with 19-inch rims that are wrapped in Pirelli P0 tires. According to me, these rims are one of the best looking rims in the market, but what can I say? The car comes with full LED lights except the back indicators and the reverse light. The front lights look very good. The back lights, my only concern or the only thing that I don't like is the indicator and the reverse light. And this is the engine bay. I don't know anything that's going on here, but I was like, let me just show it to you guys. Outside, the car looks very nice. It has a nice spoiler, there's some nice side skirts, and one thing I like is the brake light that looks like F1, so everything looks very nice, as you guys can see. Okay, I don't like chrome badges. I'm sure you guys have seen the video where I debadged the car. If you want to watch it, click right here. Up next we have the seats. The seats are in leather and suede, and I have to say they are very comfortable, and they also look good with the blue striping in the center. They are fully electric and they also come with lumbar support. So this is the electric controls that you use to move the seats around, and then they also have seat extenders so that you can have proper leg support depending on your height. This is how you operate it. There's also memory support with 2 settings, and this is how the back looks. The back is also very good. I would say the design is almost similar to the front without the blue stripe, and then you also have cup holders. Up next we have the cheapest handbrake I've ever seen. I have nothing to say about that. There's good cup holders. On my previous Polo, McDonald's drink couldn't fit there, and in this one it fits, so that's a W. At the bottom of the center console you have your wireless charging pad, and then your USB and your cigarette light, which I don't know why they placed it there, but just doesn't look good for me. I don't like it. Next we have the aircon. Air conditioner, it's dual zone. There isn't much to say. It's just like your normal aircon. You've got dual climate where other person can set their own temperature and you can, and yeah, that's it. Up next we have the infotainment screen. It is a 10.25-inch touch screen, and for me it looks very good. The size is very nice. I like it. It comes with maps. I don't know why they put this thing here in South Africa, because the maps just don't work. You don't have the South African maps, you only have European map. But anyways, who uses maps there? Because everyone uses either Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, so it's supported. On the infotainment, you can also configure your safety systems. There's quite a number of safety systems that the car comes with as standard. You have your driver attention warning, your forward safety, your lane keep safety, your blind spot safety, and your parking safety. So all the configurations on how they should function, it's all done on the infotainment. And then this is how the blind spot looks like on the mirrors. The best function of the infotainment display is the performance display. On the performance display, that's where you can see everything in terms of performance, and you can also configure your N custom. You can look at your turbo, how the turbo has been working, your torque, how much torque you've been producing, power, speed, coolant temperatures, and a couple of other things like your lap timers. And you can also do a launch control over there, your shift light, because the car has shift lights that pop up when you are supposed to be shifting, when you're putting it in N custom or manual mode. You can also customize the widgets that you have on the display, where you can put your oil temperature, coolant temperature, speed, power, torque, and all those things. If that's what you want to focus on, you just drag and drop there, and then this is how it looks on the screen. And then you also have other functions that you can do, which if you guys want a proper infotainment video, I can do one separate for that. Up next we have the top controls, which is where you can deal with your sunroof. You have your SOS button, you have your sunglass holder, and your lights. There isn't much to say about the lights. You can just tap them to turn them on. And then they also have the function whereby you can set it in a way that when the doors are open, then they can be on using that button and all that. Up next we have the sunroof. This is how the sunroof opens. It's a double sunroof because you've got the front part and the back part. Most hatchbacks, they only come with the front only, and then on the other side it's just dark, or they just put in a full cover. So this is how the sunroof looks like when it's opened. And then you can also open it half. I don't know, you guys call it ingondo or whatever you call it when it's open like that. It's a nice sunroof. It's big enough, and this is how it looks like when it's just open partially, and this is the size of it. Look at how big this thing is. It's the best sunroof I've seen in a hatchback, I have to say. Up next we have the sun visor and the vanity mirror. It's just your normal standard stuff here, nothing special. Also, the light is not automatic, so you have to press a button to turn it on, and that's it. Next we have the steering wheel. It is a circular steering wheel. It's not flat bottom. It has nice leather and it's also perforated on the side, which I very like. On the steering wheel you can be able to configure your drive modes. The street drive modes that you have normal, you have sport, and then you have eco. Eco is for normal saving fuel driving, and sport is for fast driving, and then normal is just for normal driving. Then you have N mode, which is almost like kill mode for the car. You've got N custom, which is set up by Hyundai, and then you also have N custom, where you can be able to configure the stuff on your own. The car also has manual mode, which you can use by using the pedal shifters. They are very nice and aluminium. It's a different design from most of the other cars in this segment. You can also use it by shifting with the gear using plus or minus. A couple of seconds ago I mentioned N custom mode. So this right here is N custom mode, where you can be able to customize how you want the car to behave when it's on N custom. You can be able to configure your steering, your suspension, your engine, transmission, ELSD, and exhaust sound if you wanted to vrpa and all that stuff. So there's quite a number of things that you can do and play around with in these settings. On my side, I just always make sure traction control is on and suspension is always on soft, because the car becomes unbearable to drive if you are putting in the suspension on hard. It just cannot handle the bounces and the bumps very well, because you know South African roads are not proper. But there's quite a number of configurations that you can come up with here, and it's very nice. On the left of the steering wheel you also have buttons that you can use to deal with the infotainment, and I forgot to say this or mention this, the sound system here is not good. Up next we have the speedometer. The speedometer can be configured using the buttons on the right hand side of the steering wheel. There's a number of configurations that you can do. You can play around with the speedo, and you can be able to view your oil time, torque, and turbo on this setting. You can view your lap time if you're into lap, your G-force, and your safety systems. You've got your attention level, which it tells you if you're tired or not, and your tire pressure display, which tells you individual tires how much air does it have, and then you can look at your trip and all those things here. There's quite a number of things that you can play around with in the center display there to view what you would prefer as a driver or something like that. Behind the steering wheel you also have your indicator and wiper stock. Even the lights are also controlled there, the speed of the wipers and all that stuff. There isn't much I can say there. Then you also have the start button on the left and your ambient control lighting on the side. This is the door panel, nothing fancy, just basic, plain and basic. Got your window controls on the side, your automatic mirror control, and that is it. Up next we have the boot or trunk. It's decent size. You also have the stiffness bar in there, and as you guys can see, that's how it looks. I don't know why Hyundai decided to stick this in here, but it is there. So that's just the size of the boot, nothing. You also have a 12-volt socket at the boot to be able to use a hoover or something like that, and then you can slide the separator to be even further down, and that's how the spare wheel looks like at the bottom. The car also comes with PDC, which is park distance control, and a reverse camera. As you guys can see, those are the sensors and these are the buttons to activate it. The camera has 2 view functions, and that's it. On the gear buttons you also have a heated steering wheel and heated seat buttons, which you can use to control how much heat you want. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram @BoosTheZonic. The car also has welcome entry, or I don't know how to describe it, but it's all sort of like keyless. So when you approach the car, the mirror starts to unfold, and then there's a light that pops up here, and then you can just press the button and then it unlocks. Then you can open your door. And lastly we have the ambient lighting, or should I say none, I don't know, because there's no ambient lighting in the car. The only thing that lights up is the buttons. As you guys can see, they light up in blue. That's how you control them, and it ends there.